The DOJ dropped a bombshell, 2.5 million bombshells to be exact. And this was so damning that they actually ended up taking it back, and now most of those files are still not available till now. However, when they put it on the internet just took a bunch of screenshots, and now we know what the hell is going on. Granted, there is still 3 million files missing till now, and they keep redacting most of the important information. We still don't know who the client lists are. We still have no idea who the people who were taking advantage of these victims were. No idea. However, for some reason, they keep doxing these victims. But we already have a pretty good idea on some of the people that are like strongly involved, namely the president of the country right now. But one of the people I wanted to focus on today is actually Elon Musk. There was a post that Sky News shared back in September of last year, basically saying that Elon and Prince Andrew were named in the Epstein files. And Elon did not like that at all. Let's actually take a look at the tweet right now. So the post reads, Elon Musk and Prince Andrew named in the latest Epstein file release. And Elon decided to quote tweet that and say, shame on Sky News for this utterly misleading headline. Anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Epstein tried to get me to go to his island and I refused, yet they named me even before Prince Andrew, who did visit. And what did the community note guideline of his own application say? They said in the latest Epstein files drop, Musk asked Epstein when the best time to go to his island was, asking additionally if he could come during the visit to the US Virgin Islands. So now we actually know that one of the people who wanted to go and actually went out of their way and requested to go is Elon Musk. Remember when Elon was going around saying like, oh, the files must be dropped, the client list must be released. And when he got into that little kerfuffle between him and Trump, he ended up dropping that massive tweet where he said, oh, the reason why Trump doesn't want the files released is because he's actually one of the people in it. Come to find out, he's actually in it as well. And so far, he's the only person we know who requested and went out of their way and said, hey, invite me to the parties. Let's take a look at some of the emails he actually sent to Epstein. So we have one of the email exchanges that allegedly happened between Jeffrey Epstein and Elon Musk. And in one of them, it actually reads, first, this is back in December of 2012, where Jeffrey ended up sending an email to Elon saying, you are welcome to stay or just come for the day. Plenty of room, I will send heli to get you. And then Elon replies to him saying, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year. And so once my kids head home for Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for. And Jeffrey replied to him saying, understood, I will see you in St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make Talila uncomfortable. So he actually was trying to reach out to Jeffrey Epstein and tell him, hey, listen, I've been working so hard, I need to let loose, let me pull up onto your island and have some fun in there. And Epstein was like, yeah, I got you, don't worry about it, just you can pull up, and you know, your wife might not be the happiest person about this whole thing. She's not gonna like the ratio of, essentially the ratio of men into women. And now we know that the ratio is actually not a reference to adult women, but it's probably talking about underage girls. Out of all the people that we now know are named on the files and who have confirmed to be people who frequented the island with Epstein and were messing around with little kids, allegedly, of course, because I'm not trying to get sued, Elon is actually the only one who requested that. And when we word search on the DOJ website, we see that Elon was actually mentioned over 200 times in the Epstein files. We didn't comb through the entire thing, but we're looking at some of the screenshots that we currently have seen. So when Elon requested to ask him to let him go onto the island, Epstein ended up canceling on him. And one of the emails, it reads, Epstein ended up sending an email to Elon telling him, bad news, unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. I was really looking forward to finally spending some time together with just fun on the agenda. So I am very disappointed. Hopefully we can schedule another time in the near future. So Jeffrey ended up canceling on Elon because of this whole thing. Remember, these exchanges are happening between Elon and Jeffrey allegedly between 2012 and 2013. The very first time Epstein was prosecuted for messing around with an underage woman was in the early 2006 all the way up to 2008. And I think 2008 is when he was actually convicted and was registered. And this guy is talking to him 4 to 5 years after that time. So we cannot say this guy did not know anything. He had no idea, blah, blah, blah. We can't. The guy's already registered and it's public information at this point in time. And remember, Elon was the one championing the idea that we should prosecute these people, all that kind of stuff. And turns out he was begging Epstein to let him onto the island. And over the past like couple of months and maybe to even a year, every single time something happens, Elon would come around and just attack black people. He would attack Muslims. He would attack Somalians. He would attack every single demographic you can think of. The guy, he's literally one of the people just parading the idea of white genocide happening. And turns out he got a much bigger fish to fry because he's allegedly involved with a guy who was trafficking a bunch of young kids. So in a way, you can honestly look at this as Elon was upset because the cool guys did not want to invite him to the island and to the parties that they were having. And he was the one standing at the door, begging them to let him in and say, hey guys, please take me in, please take me in. I want to have fun with you guys too. And you understand how obnoxious you have to be for a criminal trafficker to refuse to have you around or to cancel on you because you're just that annoying. I just want you to picture that. And of course, when this whole thing first came out and people took screenshots of the email and stuff like that, and they saw Elon being part of it, the internet just started making fun of him, having fun with the whole thing. And one of the tweets that went so viral that Elon himself ended up replying to says, Epstein, do you want to go party? Wink. Meet some interesting UN diplomats? And then Musk replies, I'm very busy and important, and meeting UN diplomats would be a waste of time. And Epstein says, it's a did it party, you R-word. Right? And of course, it's a satire at the idea that, you know, Jeffrey was hinting at him, hey, by the way, I'm trying to have fun, but not that kind of fun that you're thinking about. And Elon gets upset and decides to reply to this whole thing. And here's what he says, and it's absolutely damning. If I actually wanted to spend time partying with young women, it would be trivial for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein. And I would still have 99% of my mind available to think about other things, but I don't. This guy is literally in his head thinking this is a good defense to what we just saw. He said, if I wanted to mess around with little kids, I could do so if I wanted to, but I choose not to do so because I'm just so busy with my life. I'm so busy, but if I really wanted to, I could traffic a bunch of little girls. Could you imagine anybody else talking in this way? And of course, if you say something like that, nobody's gonna let that slide. Somebody replies to him and says, I can be a creepy perv all on my own without Epstein's help. Quite the flex there, Malpi. Because who in their right mind thinks that's actually a good defense? Listen, combing through these files will take forever, but the reason why I wanted to make this video was to discuss specifically people like Elon Musk, who championed the idea that he name-dropped people saying so-and-so is on the files. When he got upset with Trump, said Trump is on the files, and he just named each and every single person other than himself. And it turns out, not only did he get invited, but he actually requested. And as far as we know so far right now, he's the only person on the files who made a request to Jeffrey Epstein to invite him onto the party. And of course, his fan base is gonna cope and say, no, that he actually rejected. He's the only person who refused to go to the party. Buddy, we see the emails. We're not blind. We see him requesting to go there and Jeffrey accommodating him. And then on the extreme end of the aisle, you have people like Nick Fuentes and Megyn Kelly saying, I mean, technically speaking, they're not really PDF files. They're actually like messing around with the barely legal type. And then you have somebody like Nick Fuentes saying, oh, the mustache guy is actually cool and Epstein is actually really cool. Yeah, he did some bad things, but he's really cool. He's actually really cool. And these are the people who for the longest time kept making fun of the left, saying the left is the party of the PDF files. They don't want the files to be released. They even ran the campaign of 2024 on the idea of releasing these files. And each and every single time they release these files, they keep redacting the names of the perpetrators, but then keep on doxing the victims. And they take out each and every single important information, so much so that we still have 3 million files missing. And the files that they currently released were not even intended to be released. So they removed them. And as far as we know right now, this involves almost every powerful person on the planet. But for the time being, Elon is still saying that the client list should be released and stuff like that. And I'm guessing the reason why he's so confident about that is because he knows he probably is not on that list. So we want those client lists to be released so we can see who are the people that were doing stuff like this to young women. And now since we saw the emails and that Epstein ended up canceling on Elon Musk, now we have an idea that he probably didn't end up going to the island himself. But that's not because he was such a great magnanimous person, but that's because Epstein ended up canceling on him. But what do you guys think about this whole thing? Let me know in a comment down below.